Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to some more F1 2021 and another part of our final season in the Immersive Driver Career Mode with Mercedes. Today we have the second race of the season in Portugal, and I'm really looking forward to it, although you can see it is going to be a wet qualifying once again and a variable race there. But first of all, thank you for the support on the return to the series on Friday. Great to see that you're all enjoying it, and hopefully it will continue for a long time to come. The support, plenty of F1 content planned over the next few weeks, not just this game, other games as well, and I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully you are too. But we absolutely dominated the race at Imola for the first Grand Prix of the season. So looking forward to that again. Practice pace looks okay, a little bit slower than Hamilton, so maybe not such a dominant performance, but we'll try our best. Of course, the rain probably goes in our favour, so let's see how we get on.
Quick lap, or that's qualifying over for us.
Well, we're coming up to the line in these wet conditions, and we go straight away up into third position. Not too bad. You know, usually I go out there and pump laps in and build the confidence of the car, but I thought our pace should be good enough to just get out there late in the session. You can notice we got a new helmet for this season now. A little bit of luminous green in there with our purple from last season, so looking forward to using that and seeing that throughout the career mode now. But yeah, this is poor second lap. Well, we should be absolutely fine. I don't think there's any real danger of us going out in Q1. All the cars are out there, but I don't see them all improving. The track conditions aren't getting any better.
This rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
But this is a pretty decent second half of the lap, and we might get a little bit of improvement if we get the power nice and early here. Keep it in the limits. Yep, that's good. This could well be an improvement as we come up to the line. It is going to be a 10th, and it takes us up to second. So we are half a second behind Lewis Hamilton at the moment, but we'll certainly take it, and we might as well finish this lap as well. Although we've gone deep there, that's surely going to be the end of any improvement. Although we are still 0.3 of a second up apparently. Checkered flag has been waved. So let's see how our second sector progresses. Nah, we go on the power too early, so that's going to be the end of that one. So we'll return to garage, and that will be the end of Q1. And we are in second there, so that'll do. That'll do very nicely. Let's see what the conditions are like in Q2. Probably very, very similar, so let's have a little look. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like, if anything, it's going to dry up a little bit, but not massively. So, yeah, let's just keep with what we're going with. We'll come onto the line at the start of Q2 here, and it's a 1:24.4 once again. We go third, 0.6 off Lewis Hamilton, and you know, maybe that's where we're going to be around here. Hamilton does seem to have the upper hand, as I've said, so we'll just have to
30 seconds left in the session.
try and keep pushing and try and find something in Q3. Checkered flag is going to be waved very, very shortly. It was okay just outside the limits, but I think we're okay. gaining a little bit of time, but not sort of 6/10, so don't really know where Lewis is finding so much time. But that's a pretty good final corner. That's going to take us up to second, I think. And indeed it does. So that's how it's looking this weekend. As much as we were ahead of Hamilton last weekend, it's looking like this time it's going to be Lewis ahead of us. But we've got to hold off Max Verstappen and hopefully get P2 there. But we will see as we go into Q3 now. Here we go then. Pole position, run number 1 for us. And we've got this thing on the straight that we just seem to lose a few miles an hour as we head towards the first corner. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there and why that's the case, but it's surely not helping our cause. Yeah, 2/10 slower than George Russell in Sector 1. Not entirely sure why that's happened. George Russell back in the top 10 once again for Williams, who are still the 3rd best team as it stands, and it's a very good achievement for them, but this hasn't been a fantastic lap so far. Let's see what we get as we go through the second sector split. Oh, we are 2.5 tenths quicker than George this time, but we lose it a little bit, so it's all going to be down to our final lap. But at least we're going to get a banker in now. It'll be interesting to see, is this going to be only enough for 10th place? I think it is. Yeah, not good enough. Wow. You can see we are gaining a load of time on this straight compared to usual. Not entirely sure what we did there. Down to the apex, and need to risk it a little bit more now. Don't want to be starting 3rd. I don't think we'll be competing for pole today, but it would be nice to finish ahead of Max. Gotta be careful around here not to get the throttle on too early and not taking it as good as last time. So we know there's more time left on the table, but now the main thing is getting this lap finished. Yeah, this isn't good. I don't even think it'll be top 5 material. We go very wide. Lucky not to get the lap time deleted. Only up to P5. Very disappointing lap that. Just couldn't hook it up. And that's why we give ourselves more time in those sessions usually, but I just fancied giving it a go. But
let's review our top 3 today.
Yeah,
Hamilton,
well off the
Ocon
pace.
and Max Verstappen. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So 1.5 seconds off pole sitter Lewis Hamilton. Ocon there in second. Very, very good. And yeah, well, hopefully Verstappen and Gasly and Ocon, we can get past them. But Lewis Hamilton, he's looking unstoppable this weekend.
The Formula One circus has made its way to the southern coast of Portugal this week, and it's preparing for what I expect to be a terrific race here in Portimao. A lap of Portimao is 2.9 miles long, and it's made up of 15 turns, 9 right-handers and 6 left-handers. It's been described as a roller coaster with a lot of elevation changes. There's more than one blind summit, and the conditions today aren't going to make visibility any better. So drivers are going to have to be on the ball if we're to avoid a safety car here today. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Esteban Ocon in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Gasly, the captain, and Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Tsunoda, and Sergio Perez, Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Nicholas Latifi, and Giovinazzi, Stroll, Vettel, and Guan Yu Zhou, and Callum Ilott, Mazepin, and Christian Lundgaard. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Okay, so here we are then down on the track, ready for the race. It's intermediate conditions. I don't think it's going to dry up throughout, so it's going to be a tricky little start, and I can see us
concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Getting a very, very poor start. The formation lap probably won't do much in terms of getting us ready for the Grand Prix, so I think I'm more than happy to skip this formation lap and let's get on with the racing. Here we go. So I am going to put the overtake button on. Lights out, away we go here in Portugal. Very quick release of the lights. Don't want to be bogged down too much, and already a lot of the cars managing to make their way past, and a little bit of contact through turn 1, but I think we're okay. I'm going to have a look down the inside of Perez here. Back up to 8th place now. That's not too bad. I know we lost 3 positions, but it could have been a whole lot worse in these conditions if we'd spun round at the first corner. You know, I think we will have the pace on the Inters to get back up to 2nd in this Grand Prix. We were comfortably the 2nd quickest driver in qualifying. It was just a case of not hooking it up. But Perez definitely seeming like he wants a bit of the action, and I think that's harsh, exceeding track limits there when we gained absolutely no advantage. And that is a thing I wish they would improve in the F1 games, particularly in wet weather. You know, I think in dries it's just about okay, but in the wet conditions it is sometimes a bit ridiculous, because it's very much not an advantage to run wide in the wet. But here we come up to the line then, at the end of lap 1, and we are a decent way ahead of Perez. I don't think he's going to be troubling us for the rest of this Grand Prix, hopefully. Once again, the engine sort of cutting out as we get towards top revs. So is that the sign of a power unit issue, or is that just something that happens? I mean, again, exceeding track limits, so that's our 2 warnings done. So we can't make any more mistakes for the rest of this Grand Prix now. Well, we make it past George Russell quite comfortably there, which is good. Apparently Lando Norris does have an issue, so that's what's helping us.
Incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
That's what's helping us to keep close. The other issue is we do have a little bit of front wing damage, I think, from that first corner.
Car behind by around a second a lap.
We now got Leclerc and Norris side by side. We go down the inside of Lando Norris now. Should be able to get back up into our 5th position. But the top 4 have stormed ahead now. A bit of contact there. That's not going to help.
The track is 2 seconds.
Oh, this is a good chance on Charles Leclerc. If we can line him up into turn 3 here. But now we're going to have to try and be a bit smarter about it. But our former teammate is on the ball. Well, we've gone for it on Charles. Big lock up, and he's back through. That was a moment there. We had a chance, we went for it. Didn't succeed though. We're going again this time. Again, hard on the brakes, but we are through. And that is surely going to help our race no end, because we have been trapped behind the Ferrari, and remember, the Ferrari isn't a fast car this year. Now 5.6 seconds behind Pierre Gasly. We are on the hunt. We'll come up to the line, and that is the fastest lap.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
That was 5/10 quicker than Lewis Hamilton, and that's how much pace we've had. But being stuck behind Charles Leclerc definitely didn't help our cause. And now we need to keep pushing. We should catch Gasly within a couple of laps as we set a purple first sector. It is potentially going to dry up. There could even be safety cars. You have no idea how the rest of this race could go. But at the moment, we are hunting down Pierre Gasly. Well, as you can see, it's took us 4 laps to catch Pierre Gasly. The 2 Red Bulls not too far up the road either. Hamilton probably too far ahead to get today, but if we could get up to 2nd, that would be an amazing turnaround. But we need to make sure we position our car so that we can overtake Gasly. Well, here's the slipstream on Pierre Gasly. This has got to be where we take our opportunity. Gonna go to the outside.
Good.
Get our
job.
way
Nice
through
overtake.
beautifully. So up to 4th now. And 4.9 seconds behind Verstappen. Ocon just ahead of him. Message from Jeff not so long ago was that the track is going to start drying out now. So are we going to be on soft tyres by the end, or are we going to finish under intermediate conditions?
RS is now online.
Well, final lap of the race, and DRS has just been enabled, so maybe if the race was just that little bit longer, we could have come in, bolted on a set of softs. But Lewis Hamilton wins the 2nd race of the season. We're going to come up to the line. We finish 4th. It's not a bad damage limitation run. And we get fastest lap as well, which will definitely help.
Take care of the car on the way in.
And that's it then for the Portuguese Grand Prix. And what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So there you go then.
After an incredible
Not bad.
performance, Lewis Hamilton secures the top spot in the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Guan Yu Zhou gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue
And
to
yeah, we
extend their lead.
will
Meanwhile,
dominate
Ferrari
the
have
constructors
improved
this
their
year, you would
position.
feel.
A strong
But
weekend
1
for them
point
as they
between
fight their
ourselves
way
and
towards the
Hamilton.
top.
Ocon only
Well,
4
that's an end
points
to another
behind.
fantastic weekend of
Verstappen gets
racing.
himself
Thanks to everyone who
up to
joined
5th
us,
place
and we'll
after
see you for the
retirement
next
in the
one.
first race. But, you know, that Ocon is looking the stronger of the two Red Bulls at the moment. You wouldn't say that usually. But Hamilton, dominant performance this weekend, much like we had last weekend in the Imola Grand Prix. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how we get on in the next episode. So hopefully you guys are too. If you've enjoyed that, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.